So I will speak a little bit about myself, how I ran into living care. I started to work as a clinical psychologist at a mental health for children hospital, where some adolescents came from care, but when they were ready to leave, they had nowhere to go. That's how I introduced myself in the living care field and founded Doncel, the organization I'll tell you about a little bit later. After 4 years of working directly with young people in a job placement project, we realized the impact we could achieve was too low. And also that if we work with workers and carers and on how to prepare young people when aging out of care, the impact would be much greater. In our first research, together with Flex and UNICEF, year 2011, we asked young people, who supports you the most in your life? The answer was clear: peers, friends, siblings, roommates. That changed completely the approach of Doncel towards the how to do it. And participation and peer-to-peer support became the key to the progress. We developed a social movement with caregivers to guarantee participation in the development of the public policies of care. Now, it's been 17 years from that beginning. Doncel is an Argentine civil society that supports the transformation of the alternative care system by helping children, adolescents, and young people amplify their voices to guarantee their right to live in a family environment. We have 3 areas of work: public policy, advocacy and research, capacity building and training, and the promotion of meaningful participation of children and adolescents in all matters that affect their lives. Doncel and me also founded the Latinoamerican Network of Caregivers. The foundation of this network extended the scope of the mission of Doncel and opened the doors to greater participation of caregivers in the discussion at a regional and global level. Today, this network has 28 members in 11 countries: Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Guatemala, Mexico, Paraguay, Peru, and Uruguay. A highlight in Doncel's advocacy is the passing of the Argentinian law 27,364 in support of living care in 2017. The development of this proposal was through a participatory process with the care experienced youth, and their participation was also key to the advocacy towards passing the law. The law was voted unanimously in both chambers in the Argentinian Congress. I'll talk a bit about the transition in Argentina. Argentina has made progress toward the fulfillment of the right of the child to live with their family in recent years. Alternative care measures for children and adolescents find legal support in the national law enacted in 2005, which incorporates a principle of the Convention of the Right of the Child. The National Secretariat for Children, Adolescents, and Family is the national authority on children's policies and plays a guiding and advisory role in this matter. However, Argentina is a federal country composed of 23 provinces and the autonomous city of Buenos Aires, which means that there are 24 different child protection laws. Exceptional protection measures involving the separation of children from their families should last up to 180 days. But the objective of such measures, which are family reunification or adoption or independent living, usually take much longer. According to the latest available data, over 16,000 children and young people live in alternative care in the country. 6,400 do it in kinship care, whilst only 1,116 live in foster care, and most of them do it in residential care. Foster care is underdeveloped across the country. Some provinces have long-established programs, while others are just taking the first steps. Going back to the living care law, which I'll explain a bit more now, it's represented a milestone it creates a program for accompanying young people aging out without parental care. And this is the first law in Latin America with this purpose. It's aimed at adolescents and young people between 13 and 21 years of age who are separated from their birth families and are living in alternative care facilities. The law creates a voluntary program. That means that the young person needs to accept to be part of it. But also, the young person can ask himself or herself to be in. It doesn't need to be, okay? It doesn't need to be a care worker who introduces him or her in the program. And it has two stages. The support by a mentor since the age of 13, while the adolescent lives sustained care, and an economic allowance equivalent to 80% of a minimum wage from the time they leave care until they are 21 or 25 if they are studying. The support provided by mentors comprises 9 areas: health, mental health, productive health, family planning, education, employment, housing, human rights, citizenship, family and social networks, leisure time, independent living skills, identity, and financial planning. The adolescents can choose their own mentor, which means this is a way of formalizing informal bonds and relationships and not over intervening the relationships that young people already have. But also, and moreover, the program has acted as a lens on the realities that need to be changed in alternative care. This is not an isolated law. It should be thought as an element of the system for protection of childhoods and care rights. Today, more than 3,000 youths are including in this program that creates a law, but still 2,400 should be in. Around 800 leave care each year in Argentina. There are some references there about what we've done so far as research. And in the latest quantitative evaluation of the implementation of the law, 271 young people answered that there were 2 main components that help them move on with their lives, meaning this program. The first one is the possibility to continue studying, and the second one is the possibility to help their own family, maybe extended family. So, just a final word, because you can see the references. As regards what the Committee for the Right of the Child just recommended strongly in terms of participation. And this is also my perspective from where the transition discussion should go. I think we have to include people with care experience in the discussion and how the system should be, understand how the good transition examples can transform care system, and use the experience of social movements in Latin America as a platform to strengthen the voice of caregivers. At a global level, we owe ourselves a discussion about why we have studied and discussed about young people, their transitions, but have not done it with them enough. We now have evidence in almost all regions of the world about this, understanding that participation, if we underestimate participation, that can take us to wrong answers. We must show another ways to guarantee the right to be heard. And this is mostly by relying on their own word. Maybe we don't know yet how to do this pretty well, and if this is the case, then we have to ask ourselves how to start over with research, policy, and practice. Thank you very much.